I would like to check out is called How to Be Less Feminine and More Masculine. This is actually more related to the energy of masculinity and femininity within a man. So this is for you men out there. I just want to watch this video and share my opinion about it as well, because I do have a thing or two to share about the masculine and the feminine energy within a man.
You don't even know where you've went wrong, do you?
Oops.
You don't even know where you've went wrong, do you? Picture your personality in terms of how feminine or masculine you are. You're a modern young man, that probably means you're way more feminine than you'd like to be. Jeffrey and Jess says that it's okay, that you should be even more feminine, but they don't realize that quite frankly, one of your biggest goals is to attract more women, to have more sex, and to eventually have an amazing wife and children. You will only get to that point if
I'm sorry, but that child, he looks very creepy. He doesn't look amazing.
an amazing wife and children. You will only get to that point if you rebalance your masculine and your feminine energy. Jeffrey and Jess are gonna get offended at this pursuit of ours, so let them. Adonis, on the other hand, understands the importance of this pursuit for young men to be less feminine. He looks around at you and your friends and he wonders, why are men so emotional these days? Why do men spend so much time playing and enjoying themselves with this weird stimulating rectangle screen instead of conquering the mission like men are supposed to? There's no short supply of insecure men with bitch tits these days. And you know that's fucking... Bro, I've got a fucking gyno. Do you know what that is? I've got a fucking gynecomastia.
Why is he touching his tits? What is he doing?
It's like a somewhat of a medical condition that can happen to like 10, 20, 30% of teenagers.
Wait,
of
what?
Boys who will have elevated levels of estrogen through puberty and they'll develop like titty-like substance. We're not supposed to talk about this shit, you know, this is weird as fuck to talk about, right? How weird is that a large number of young male teenagers literally develop breasts? We live in a time where like males are a lot more feminine than they should.
Wait. Does that mean you can actually produce milk? Actual milk?
Should be. Your testosterone is about 30% less than what it would have been if we were born 20, 30 years
It's
early.
a hormonal imbalance, but it's fixable, right? With medicine or surgery or something?
Yeah. Your sperm count is 50% less. There's a shockingly high number of men who are no longer fertile. Imagine that, bro.
See, this is the thing, because I'm dealing with PCOS. I have higher percentage of male hormones like estrogen and testosterone and androgen than estrogen. So I'm the other way around, you know, like he should give me those hormones and I should give him the other one. I'm a Chad, bro.
Imagine you go your entire life thinking that you're gonna be a father, that you know you're gonna have children.
this is terrible, and it's hard for them as well. Like 50% less reproductive system, like that is hard. And even with me with PCOS, like I myself have a struggle of having children in the future as well. Like I have to follow specific medications and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not easy.
You're gonna have a wife, and then you realize that your sperm are all like deformed and they can't even like swim properly. Men being less masculine and more feminine is deeper than we think it is, and it starts with our societal conditioning. Because when you were a little boy and you went to school and you were raised secondhand by these female teachers who didn't understand masculinity, you were raised in the feminine structure of the education system. This sounds like really dark stuff. We're talking about conspiracy theories and stuff, but it's the truth. If you're raised by a bunch of women who don't really research, you know, your female teachers in primary school and high school didn't read books on masculinity. They didn't think, oh, how can I develop...
That is so true. All my life I felt different than other women and other girls. Majority of my life I grew up with guys and hanging out with guys. I love to play ball with the ball. I didn't like to play Barbies. I hated the color pink. I hated anything like compared to me to be like a woman or a female. I never wore skirts and shirts. I would always like a tomboy, acting and behaving. I always felt different. I even, when I was a teenager and like in that area where you're like trying to figure out life and who you are attracted to, I genuinely thought I was attracted to women at one point. I was like, I'm such a Chad, like I'm such a manly kind of, I thought, but then no, it turns out no, that's not the case. But still, all my life I felt different, and now finally I realized why, you know, because of this hormonal imbalance that I have. Like I didn't know why. Even when I was young and I would play a game with my friend, which is a female, and we would act as if we're like a man and a woman or whatever, I would always be the man. I would be Enrique Iglesias, Tom Cruise. I would be all be Brad Pitt, you know, she would be Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Like, that's the thing. That's literally it. And now it all makes sense. Like, if you feel certain way like that, people around you don't know what that is. And back in the day, in the 90s, this thing didn't exist, or it wasn't talked about. So I always felt different. And I always thought, why girls don't like to hang out with me? What is wrong with me? I'm always like feeling like guys like to hang out with me more. I feel better with guys. I feel more connected to guys. Yeah, I always felt something was wrong with me, which is kind of, but not really.
These
I'm
men to be
fine.
more masculine. They thought, okay, how can I silence this class so that I can talk uninterrupted? How can I make sure none of the boys are playing too aggressively? How can I make sure they're not fighting each other? But that's what we do as men. The words that I'm saying here in this video and the way that this video is packaged, it's titled How to Be Less Feminine. I literally had to take a minute before recording this video just thinking, is it worth it? Because the message is kind of important, but I might get cancelled for this. We're not allowed to speak about this topic that like men should be less masculine.
I think this is the era and time where we should speak more about these type of topics. And that's why I am making this video about it. How exactly does the upbringing influence your hormones? Do you think that's connected? Because I don't think my parents lacked in any sphere or era with my upbringing. Although my sister was my biggest influence, because she's 12 years older than me, and I always looked up to her. And she herself liked to play with football. She was practicing karate, and she was more of a tomboy. So maybe me looking to be more similar to her by still being woman, changed some hormones in me. I don't know. Is that possible?
You haven't been raised in the best way. And the truth is, as a young man, you know that. You don't even need me to tell you. You know that you have this like ill balance of energy inside of you, and it literally seeps outwards into the way that you look. Why are so many young men so fluffy? Like, you can say this is body dysmorphia or body shaming or something, but why are so many young men literally starting to shape like women without even meaning to? The majority of young men have like fat hips, like breast fat, soft voices, low testosterone, higher estrogen. What does that lead to? Well, it leads to a young man who's way more emotional. And the modern day will tell you, well, men should be more emotional. But, 100%. The thing is, I promote positive emotions. I promote gratitude, love, mindfulness, 100%. That's amazing. But telling people, you should be more emotional, especially their lens of emotions is the negative ones. It's about like crying. It's about like feelings of insecurity. Like, why would you want to feel more negative emotions?
No, the reason is because men tend to keep their emotions inside of them, suffer silently, thinking that they cannot ask for help or open up and talk about their issues and problems. That's the problem. If you keep it all in, eventually it's gonna all go out, and probably in the worst possible way, or it can even go further and influence your health, and that is not good. You don't want to get a stroke because you couldn't scream twice or 3 times.
Why do they want to normalize weakness inside of you? Because that is not allowed in Adonis's tribe. If you want to join our cult of young men on holistic self-improvement, striving to be more like Adonis, you can be weak, but there is one requirement to join this cult. You must want to improve. You can be weak, but you must strive for strength. The only thing that we care about in this cult, this brotherhood, is that we all want to improve ourselves. Saying that it's okay to be weak, saying that, you should be fine just how you are. You should love yourself. It doesn't work for us. As many times as these...
Was that a woman speaking?
Jeffries want to say to young man, like, just be yourself. It's like, bro, that advice has never worked for us. We don't feel good when we follow it, because just being ourselves is being a pathetic loser who's addicted to video games, who's watching porn, who's literally watching porn, watching some other man have sex with the woman that we're attracted to, with negative thoughts in our mind. And these people are telling us, well, just be yourself, that's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. We are not happy living like that anymore. So we need to be more masculine, and so we need to be less feminine.
Yes, that is also truth, because men have, when it comes to hormone, more... Like when they exercise, for example, and they lift weight, they have higher muscle percentage, which also results in higher hormone like endorphins and happiness from exercising. And that's why I feel like when a man is like feeling down and feeling sad, they need to do some activity, some exercise, like just scream it all out, go go hit something, you know, go work out. Don't hit people, you know. Just saying, like, do it in an exercise kind of way. I feel like that helps a lot.
In my How to Be More Masculine video, you should watch that on my channel, that the masculine energy is all about the mission, the objective, the goal. It's all about striving to conquer the goal and then move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. The feminine energy is all about the flow of love, of joy, community, empathy, nurturing. Now, we all have both
Nurturing
energies
is women
inside
thing,
of us,
yeah.
but what matters is the split, the ratio inside of us. I found that on average, like most men my age in this modern day have about a 50-50 split. Sometimes it's 60-40, sometimes it's 40-60, but it's about 50-50 for most men. But I found that the men who really feel actualized, the men who really feel like happy with themselves, who feel like they're conquering goals that are worthwhile, who are sleeping with a good amount of like beautiful girls, bro, they're more like 80-20. We're always going to have some feminine energy inside of us, and that's a good thing. Our ability to love and to be loved, our ability to be empathetic towards other people, that's actually very, very important. What you see in front of you right now, you might think, oh yeah, like Hamza's a masculine man, like he has a good body and he sounds really confident, but the truth is, I actually have a fair amount of feminine energy, and I wouldn't even change that because the amount that I have is very like controlled. It's very like I've set it with intention. The work that you see, which I'm doing in front of you, is quite feminine because I'm using empathy to understand your problems and to give you advice for that. So feminine energy is valuable, but you don't want a surplus on it. You don't want an excess of feminine energy inside of you. So how do you
Yes,
be
but like this is easy for you to say because you're in this position right now in your life where you found the medium and like you have a balanced lifestyle and you balance your thoughts and opinions and your character. The problem is that every single individual is different and you cannot just give them one type of advice for everyone. Like you cannot just now speak to everyone the same and for everyone to get the same message and do the same thing and get the same results. It's such an individual thing and every person lives their life and goes through their journey by themselves. And overall, like take what he says and take what I say, but don't take it like 100% the reality and the truth and the outcome. It's on you. Like you have to know what works for you the best and what makes you the best version of yourself. And it is easy. It's not like science. Like it's such an easy thing. You just have to sit down and ask yourself when you imagine yourself as the best version, what it is and how to like from A to Z, how to get there. And then you can work on it.
Less feminine, and I want to give you advice which is better than just saying, oh well, be more masculine. How do you specifically reduce the feminine parts inside of you? This is going to sound crazy because pretty much no one in the modern world will actually tell you this. You need to devalue love and joy. Love and joy are kind of like the two, like most, you know, love is everything. That's what the modern day, like that's the dynamic we have. That's what these Hollywood movies have always tried to convince you, and we've believed it. Love is everything. It's the most important force in the world. If you're not having fun, then it doesn't. Happiness is the... Shut the fuck up. Next time you see those movies trying to brainwash you, tell them, shut the fuck up. I don't want to be feminine anymore. That's
Let
what
him
all these
speak.
books, that's what all these Jeffreys with skinny necks
Let him speak. Let him speak.
and skinny wrists will tell you is like, oh, happiness is the most... No, it's not. Not for a masculine man. The most important thing in the world is the mission. Happiness is just a fleeting emotion. If you've ever looked into Stoicism, you know that we cannot base our big decisions,
The epic music. The mission. Wait, what is the mission exactly?
or like our life of emotions. Happiness and joy are emotions. They are nice to have. This isn't saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna be dark. Oh, we're trying to feel like shit. Like, no, we're not trying to feel like shit. We'd like to feel good if we could. But if we don't feel good, we are still going to conquer that mission. Trying to prioritize love, joy, and happiness. Oh yeah, you know, good vibes. Like that's the modern shit that people talk about. Like good vibes only. Trying to just prioritize those emotions will keep you kind of like fleeting to substances, to instant gratification, to people that you shouldn't be around. Masculine men are more like rocks. They don't budge easily. You need to devalue these like feel-good emotions that you've been told are the most important.
Please don't listen to this guy. Please, guys, don't listen to him. He has good points, but this point is really bad. Really bad because love and happiness are the most important thing in life. And there is a reason for that. There is a huge reason for that. One important reason from the side of perspective, what he's talking about when a man feels down, he needs to just get up and do his shit, you know, and that's what is gonna get him places and whatnot. That is very understandable. But without love, compassion, and without happiness, there is no reason for people to even start doing any of those things. All right? because of love, because of happiness, you want to accomplish things, so you reach more happiness, you reach more love, right? And also, another thing is when you feel so down and you don't have love in your life, who is going to be there for you to nurture you? Who's going to be there to make you feel better? Who you yourself need love in yourself, for yourself, in order to be able to get up that day and continue on living. If you don't have love, you have nothing. And we are not talking about the like romantic love of Hollywood movies. I'm talking on about other things.
Important things in the world, and instead you need to start valuing goals, the mission, your objective. What is the current goal right now?
See, like if you reach all of these goals, there's always more goals to do. If you don't know how to be happy with where you are and who you are, if you don't know how to share love and be loved in return for who you are right now, you will never be ready for love and happiness. There will always be more, something, and you're going to live your whole life. And then eventually when you are so old, you're going to look back and be like, where did my life go? You know, all I was striving to reach something and get, and what happened? Where it is? Where did it go? Nowhere. You lost the most important thing in your life, happiness and love.
Maybe for you, it's to finish watching this video and have a good understanding of masculine and feminine energy. Then that goal will be checked off. The next goal is, I'm running late on my muscle protein synthesis. Let me go downstairs and make that food. Conquer that goal. Then the goal is, okay, let me eat this. Conquer that goal. Then the next goal is, let me read for 2 hours. Conquer that goal. You focus on the goal, the objective, the mission. You focus on these tasks that need to be checked off. You focus on purpose, the greater vision for your work. You focus on being a man instead of just feeding the flow. I've really noticed like the feminine energy.
So I feel like what he's doing in his life is he has a goal for himself, and if he does need any type of happiness or love, these are things that he can use on the quick as an energy source and then continue with his goal. That is called selfishness, and you cannot live your life like that. You know, you literally cannot live alone and follow a rule and a road by yourself. People around you need your love. People around you, like literally, they need you to share your happiness with them. You have to be selfless in some areas in your life if you don't want to be alone.
Inside one of my best friends, Sam. He's my first video editor for this channel, and I'm traveling with him. We're in Thailand right now. I'm traveling with him and another best friend, Nabil. And there was a key moment. I didn't really say this too much to him, but we were all bringing back like bags of like heavy stuff, right? Like heavy water bottles and everything. And it was kind of annoying because there was a lot of flies, like big ass fucking flies, just flying like a lot of them. Imagine like they're like literally everywhere. We get out of the taxi here. We're walking out. We come up to our villa, and I saw the masculine energy inside of me and Nabil. It was like I could so clearly see that inside of our minds was, okay, it's uncomfortable here, grab like the bags and take them inside. That's the current mission. Whereas I saw the feminine energy inside of Sam, because we walk in and he sees like how beautiful this place is. He sees like how like beautiful the sunset is, and the first thing he does is like,
wait, being masculine means you cannot appreciate sunset? Oh, this is sad. His life is sad.
Drop the bags. And he's like,
so if you're a man who is an artist, who sees creation and who's also like religious, and he sees God's creation all around him and loves it and lives for it, that's not a man. How dare you? That's feminine. That only women can do that.
Just like in awe, he's like enjoying the view and like taking a picture of it and everything. That's quite a specific example. Wanting to take a picture of the sunset doesn't just automatically make you feminine, but being too feminine is one of Sam's like biggest problems.
Sunset is gonna go away. That sunset is gonna not wait for you. You appreciate the moment. The sunset is there for a couple of seconds, and then it's gonna go. It's not gonna wait for you to like do whatever shiz you have to do and then be like, okay, now I'm ready to enjoy the sunset. No, it's gone. It's not there anymore.
Talking to us about. And so I really saw this inside of him. And why do you think that is? You may not know my friend Sam. You may have seen him in some of my videos. But why would a young man's biggest problem be too much feminine energy inside of him? Well, Sam says it's because he's been raised by a single mother. He hasn't really had that much of his like father's masculine guidance around him. And truthfully, like me too. I wasn't raised by a single mother. My father was always in the home, but like I wasn't that close to him. So I didn't have like a masculine role model to really look up to imitate. You may have not had one either. See, this is where it gets like really deep
I
and
had
controversial to
fine.
talk about masculinity and femininity in like more of a political situation. I am not like a political guy at all. I'm totally like ignorant on these things, but it does seem to me that there is more of like a political stance against masculinity and especially against fatherhood. There's a lot of like social justice against fathers and for mothers. I believe fathers get custody of their children only 9% of the time. And that means that we are the first generation of boys without fathers. So is it any wonder that our generation of boys are so
This is a bit
feminine?
true.
That's something for you to decide if you
I
want to like
agree with
look into
him.
this politically. I don't really care for
This
that
is
thing. I don't
sad.
really care for that. But there is a salvation to this. Join a tribe. Be surrounded by
Oh, there you go. The motivational music is starting again, you guys. No, why does he say something so true and so like on point, and then he just goes the other way around? Oh, here we go. Let's join the tribe, you guys. Join the tribe. Wah!
by a brotherhood of masculinity. Be surrounded by a brotherhood of like-minded men who want to improve themselves. In Adonis's tribe, you will find a place where you feel important.
Oh, now
This
he's
is the
inviting you
first
to his
and
tribe.
only modern cult that is holistically good
All
for
you have to do is join Discord and subscribe for $5 a month for exclusive content, how to become more masculine.
you. You have in front of you the offer to join a cult of young men who are no longer fine with being weak and feminine. This doesn't mean like, you know, we're toxic and we hate women and fuck no, bro. Bro, I love women. Maybe a little bit too much. But this is a cult, like a brotherhood, a group of men who say, you know what, bro? I'm tired of watching porn and feeling like shit because of it. And I think you should stop
I
as
actually
well.
agree.
You know
Stop
what? Like,
watching
I've seen
porn.
you recently, bro. Like, you're looking a bit weak. Let's go to the gym. Let's go eat some high protein, bro. Let's read. Let's develop ourselves. Let's start a business together. Me and my best friend Nabil, he's downstairs right now. We're gonna start a business together. We're gonna make a product that we're both gonna
Good
sell
for
together.
you.
How fun
Good for you. I'm so happy for you. Oh, sorry, not happy. No love, no happiness. Good job.
is that? We've literally,
Maybe.
all three of us have been going to Muay Thai in the gym together since we got to Thailand. I've seen these guys literally punch bags. Like we all have like some scars on, you see that? We all have like some form of like scars of like
I have scars too from lifting weights, if you can see that. And I am a woman, so... Oh, well, guess I should be proud about that.
blood and like tears on
Yeah.
us. I can't tell you how important that's been for our growth. You need to surround yourself with brothers who will test your masculinity. And there's one final thing that will make you a lot less feminine and way more masculine, and that is to enjoy your friends' criticism. There is a book that is like the absolute Bible for masculinity. I promise you that this book
That's
will
the worst, man. When your friends criticize you, it hurts so deep, bro. When like an anonymous person on the internet talks shit to me, I laugh. I look through it and I it's funny for me. It's entertaining. But when your friends and your family tell you something negative, it hurts.
change your life. It is called The Way of the Superior Man by David Dida. And one of the chapters in this book is titled Enjoy Your Friends' Criticism. I was always way too sensitive for this when I was growing up. I didn't realize that this was a part of masculinity. I thought my friends were just being mean to me. I realize now that masculinity and brotherhood, we constantly test each other. We constantly criticize and tease each other. Can you guess why? Can you guess why a group of guys who are masculine would tease each other? Because that seems like a little bit of like, you know, a little bitch move or something. Why would like a friend of yours who cares about you tease you? Well, he would do it to test your security in that thing. So Sam puts on a shirt and I will tease him and say like, oh bro, like you're kind of skinny in that shirt, because I'm testing to see, is he secure in himself? Because if he goes, oh, am I looking skinny? Like, I might change. That shows, okay, well, he's got no confidence. He's not secure in himself. I can't be around a man who's not secure in himself. If I say, Sam, you look skinny in that shirt, I want him to be like, go fuck yourself, Hamza, and give me a front double bicep. You need to be surrounded by men who test you and hold you to a higher standard. That is the best.
Man, it's not every day that you wake up feeling full of yourselves. Every human being has bad days. And if your friend comes at a really bad day and tells you shit like that, it doesn't mean that every time you're gonna have the same response and feel the same way. You can maybe fake it, but it will still hurt, okay? It will still hurt. Also, like, I tease my friend all the time, but when I tease them, it comes from a place of love. Because I like to joke and tease them. I never mean anything harmful by it. I just like to surprise them and shock them, like that face of like, oh, you did not. I like, I did. You know, just like games like that. But I never really mean it. Never.
Best thing that you can do to be less feminine, be more masculine. You can subscribe to our channel if you want to. Welcome to the cult. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.
No, please, why? I did not ask for that kiss. Yeah, masculine is about protecting others, protecting love, and doing everything in your power to do that. Love is a very important part of masculinity. I mean, it's love is a very big part of life. I don't know what you're talking about. Like him talking happiness and love is not important in life. Like that is what people usually strive their whole life for. But in short, masculine is often associated with assertiveness, rationality, independence, competitiveness. And that is what I see with this guy a lot. Like he's really going into the competitive level.
A lot of them are like,
He's really trying to be competitive between him and his friends as well, as you could see a lot of times. The feminine energy is often associated with nurturing. Like that's what he mentioned as well, the nurturing within a woman. Like, yeah, I do understand why men are not as nurturers. It's not in them. And that's why, unfortunately, in today's society, women get the child in case of divorce way more because they are portrayed as the more nurturing and intuitive person. They like to collaborate and they are more creative in ways to take care of the child than men are. But all of these are actually like just generalizations. Like there are individuals and every individual is different in my opinion. So yeah, you cannot really generalize these things. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comment down below what you think as well.